What's going on, beautiful paint world entrepreneurs alike? We got Aiden Smith, Paint Your Path podcast, and my man Joel Mercado. The boys are back.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
What's up, my
How you
man? How you
doing, brother?
doing?
I'm great,
Good.
my man. Doing great.
Always good, man. We're finishing the year strong, traveling a lot, right? I'm sure everybody is. If you listening to this, it's probably past Halloween, so happy Halloween. Hope you guys had a good one. Didn't eat too much sugar.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, love
We're,
it, love it.
we're actually flying out to Chicago to be with family for Halloween, and I'm like, what are
Nice.
we gonna fly back with candy? Like, what does that look like?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Eat it all up, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta watch it this year.
Yeah,
Gotta watch it.
100%.
Yeah, man, how you been?
Good, man. I just got back from my trip. We went to upstate New York. We went to Sleepy Hollow, and then we went to Philadelphia, and then we went back to my old hometown, and then back. So it was a well needed trip. It actually got me. When you take a trip, your creative juices just start going. You're
100%.
like, I came back like, I got to do this, I got to do that. So there's so many things in my brain right now. And now we just got to execute. So I'm super
Mm-hmm.
excited, man. And it was good to be back home. It's been a long time. So,
You
yeah.
said something on your story as well. You said, I wish my office was an airplane or something because, like,
Yeah.
you do get so much done.
Oh, dude. Like the amount of emails I got back to, text messages, planning, getting ahead
Yeah.
of schedule, and just like all my tasks. I was like, dude, if I could just be in a plane at least once a week, I think I
Yeah.
could knock out like 3 days worth of work.
That's the one
So
benefit of traveling, right? It's like
yeah,
on the way, dude, you're just pumping stuff out. You're even like
yeah,
doing things you're like, I never got to this. Like it's been so long.
yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
I love it, man. Chicago, huh? So you should say hi to Mr. Damien. Damien, shout out.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Damien's
yeah.
painting. Let's go, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, we plan on, eating some good food like always. It's been a big constant for me. But let's get into the podcast, man. We
Yeah,
got a special announcement.
I'm so
We
excited.
are announcing our first ever sponsor to the Paint Your Path podcast. None other, if you haven't seen the hat, DripJobs.
Let's go.
Tanner, Eli, the whole DripJobs team, they have bought into what we're doing, and they are our official sponsor, the number one app for painting contractors, an app
100.
we both use in our businesses, an app that we teach our clients to use, optimize, and crush it in their business. We have guys doing 5 million using DripJobs.
Yep,
So, man, it's
absolutely.
a powerful tool, and we're, super excited to have them a part of our community, our journey, and, what better guys than Tanner and his team.
100%, man. And it's like such an honor to have them. So I'm super pumped too, because like you said, not only do we use it in our businesses, our clients use it as well. And we just love seeing how it's constantly evolving. So
Mm-hmm.
guys, you got to check out Drip. We're
Yeah,
super
man.
excited.
For anybody not familiar, we have a free trial that they helped us out with. You can
Hmm.
use the promo code PATH60, PATH 60 for a free 60-day trial. You know, it's crazy. Just today on an automation in the system, I landed a job. Follow up on a proposal that I forgot about,
Yeah.
and we landed it. 6K job on the books.
There you go, dude. Oh
It's
man,
the
that's dope.
power of automation.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. What are the timing too?
Yeah, super crazy. So
Yeah,
yeah, just super excited. And yeah, man, shout out to DripJobs for taking
yeah.
a chance on us. We're gonna grow this thing, man. So it'll be worth it.
100%. Appreciate you guys.
Um, Along with that, we kind of want to talk on automations, right? Because that's a big part of what DripJobs does is it makes the business more efficient. It helps us in our blind spots. It
Hmm.
it makes us allows us to focus on different aspects of our business so it can follow up with things, automatically send things through the pipeline so we don't have to go in and do all of that, right? It'd be time consuming. So I wanted to kind of go through our own painting businesses and see what are the top automations that we use. And if you want to start off with that.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. So for me, what I love is like the text messaging feature, of course, like when we have the text coming out. In fact, I see a higher return on sending messages through DripJobs than our own personal cell phones or reaching out in sales, right? So I don't know about you, Aiden, but I've seen a high return on that where when we respond back to them through Drip, it really, I mean, we get a higher response rate doing it through there. And I think it's because they do such a great job on the automations that they feel like that's the only source of communication. Like I think the client itself feels that that is our office only. And that's like the only line of communication. So we've really switched over utilizing the text messaging through there and communicating with clients that way. I get a higher response rate on that as well. So that's one of my favorite pieces of it. So what are your thoughts on yours? Like, what do you guys see the
Yeah,
most?
I'll tell you what, nowadays people want to text. That's just the reality of it, right? So
Mhm.
we've actually went to the drawing board within our internal processes and said we're open more to text. Because when we initially started out here in Florida, like I was like, no, if they don't get on the phone, they can't schedule the appointment, right? Now we are being much more lenient as long as they give us some of the information we need over text, and we find that they are responding a lot more to the automations and the drip jobs. I mean, yeah, it's been a game changer. One of the things we do as well is obviously all of our leads come through our CRM. So it'll say Facebook, Angie, whatever it is. We'll actually send out because they're supposed to fill out another form. And if they fill that out, we know they're super interested, right? It's like, damn, they committed twice. But if
Yeah.
they don't, we send out a follow up and it'll be like maybe 2 hours later or something. And it'll say, does Wednesday or Thursday work for an estimate? So just a quick re-engagement. Hey, it's not a bot anymore. It is an actual person, right? But that is done by DripJobs, and it's a pretty cool thing that we get a lot of conversion on.
Love that. I think a lot of people too. I mean, for our business, we've created another automations within the automations,
Yeah, yeah.
and like the label cards. A lot of people underutilize that. So those of you that do have drip jobs, those cards. What's really cool is you can match that to send an automations to your color consultant. You can actually link that with a Zapier. And like, there's a lot of features on drip jobs I think a lot of people underutilize because they don't
Mhm.
know the power of it, and we have that set up for our automation. So to send a confirmation, you just go under the customer's profile on that, create the label card there. We have drop downs, so it'll show like color consultant. Click that button, it messages them whatever message we want and be like, hey, reach out to so and so. Right.
Mhm.
So we don't even have to communicate anymore. We just like click a couple buttons, boom, done. And
Yeah.
it's just automated. And man, it's really changed. I mean, for me, it's made a big difference. And I know we're going to get in a topic about our businesses and like
Mhm.
other painting companies and how things are changing and shifting. 7 years ago, for me, the CRM we were using before that, we were we were literally printing.
It's just a piece of paper, bro.
Bro, like literally my estimator when I moved out here, he had a printer in his car
Oh my
and he was
goodness.
still printing. I was like, dude, there's gotta be something else in
Yeah.
this. And we did a different CRM at that time. I didn't know Tanner yet. Um, and we switched to this other CRM, but there was no automations. It was just, hey, manually send it out,
Yeah.
obviously through email. It was
Here's the
digital, which was
price.
nice, but that was it. So
Yeah.
it's come a long ways, man. Yeah, it's made my life a lot
Dude.
easier.
And here's the cool thing that you said it right. Like people aren't taking advantage of what it offers or
Mhm.
what you can build it out to be because I don't know about you, but like in the coaching sphere, we have our own CRMs that we use. It's fucking hard to build out. Like we hire people to go in and set all this stuff up for drip jobs to just say, hey, here's all of it done for you. It's yours. Tweak it if you want, but you don't have to. That is like people don't understand how big of a game changer that is. That's
100%.
thousands of dollars in just setting up, right? Like I have a guy right now that's still working on my CRM, right?
Same, dude. I'm like, maybe we should call Tanner and be like, hey, man, we need a
Yeah.
coach's CRM.
And he also made it like so it's you can go in there yourself and update a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest things I've seen recently is we have a guy that he does about 1.5 or maybe 2 in sales, and he goes in and once the job's accepted, he no longer is a part of the process. It
Mm.
says, hey, this is John, project manager. I'll be reaching out shortly. It literally is his segue to hand off the job to his project manager. That is clutch.
That is clutch. Oh, why did I think about that? We usually we do a phone call. Obviously, we do our
Yeah.
whole like prior to arrival questionnaire that we do. And then we like hand that off to the production manager at that point. But see, it's those little things that we don't
That's what
think
I'm
about, right?
saying. Dude, I was like, dude, I was so impressed with that because some people they struggle with that handoff. They feel like
Hmm.
they have to be a part of the entire process when it's like you literally have a CRM that will do it for you. And
Yeah.
now they just think, oh, this is just how they run their business. And it makes it so much easier on you. Less phone calls. Now you have the contact information of the new person. Just makes your life so much easier. Another golden nugget for you guys is for colors, right? I mean, how many times are we reminding people about colors? The job
Hmm.
starts Monday, Friday comes along. We still haven't got the colors. We actually have two separate automations that go out once the job is landed for them to, number one, get our colors, but number two, follow up and give them resources. Hey, if you're not sure about the colors, go check out this link. You can explore a little bit. And if you want our color consult to happen, reach out to us. So, like, it's the ball's in their court, you
Yeah.
know?
Love that, dude. Well, it's all informative, right? Where you don't have to, once you set it up once, that's it, done. And just keep it rolling. So I love that, man.
Dude, I've seen
Absolutely.
so many custom built drip jobs. Like we set up Alex's Cabinet Code of Kings, and he switches all his jobs to in progress on like Friday. So Monday comes around or Tuesday, something like that. A text goes out and says, "Hey, this is Alex. How's everything going?" It's like a pseudo PM. I was dead.
I love that, dude.
And he's got like
Yeah.
7, 8 jobs, so that saves him hours.
Yeah. I need to really start tweaking mine though. Like the more we talk about it, there's so much more you can do that like you almost forget like maybe I should sit down a little bit more and get more creative with this. We've even done we have a mutual client, Cameron. With Cameron, I sat down with him and changed all his drips to speak more like him
Love that.
because that was a big deal for him. He's like, I want this more personalized so that they understand like kind of my tonality.
Yeah.
So what we did was we switched all of his answers, everything that he would normally speak like, and
Mm-hmm.
like literally personalized his whole drips, every single message, every single email, that when it comes out, it sounds just like Cameron. So
Game
it's like,
changer.
it's such a game changer, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yeah, man. And we haven't even gotten to production rates, job costing, right? All essential pieces of our business at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Which like QuickBooks, obviously sync in your QuickBooks. If you're
yeah.
using T Sheets, which I do,
Mm-hmm.
you can use T Sheets, all your labor hours sync automatically with freaking job costing. Like it's
Have your
hands down makes
admin
life
pop
easy.
in all your receipts from Sherwin. Job costing's done. I know exactly how much I'm making on each job.
Yeah,
We're
100%.
plugging. We're plugging a lot.
I think we were just so excited. We're like, well, you
Yeah.
guys need to know why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the slept on automations we use is a simple one where once a job gets scheduled, like an appointment, um, a company cam automation gets set up. Not speaking directly to like drip jobs, but just a quick one to where when I go and take my pictures on company cam, it's already made, saves me a couple minutes. These are all things that you can set up across all your apps just to make
Yeah.
life so much easier. I have another
Yeah.
one with Open Phone. I can go down the line. I could have a whole page of automations we have set up.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy though. Like the fact that you and I probably could do more. I think we probably do more for our clients than we do ourselves for our own business. But like I always say the same thing. I'm like, oh, I should just do that for me, but
It's so
I
funny.
haven't. Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets into the conversation with like there's so much technology out there,
Hmm.
especially with AI, especially just like people trying to service I would say home service businesses, right? Like there's a big opportunity to help them set appointments with AI chatbots, right? I mean, we're seeing a whole bunch of different stuff, color rendering services,
Oh
right? I
yeah.
think one of the guys, the marketing guys, put out a product like that. So I think just it's a little overwhelming, a little bit actually, just because I'm in the loop of it. But when you have it dialed in, it's such a game changer,
100%.
and yeah, it's like unlimited possibilities. You don't want to over optimize, I think, right? There's still that like, hey, you do want to be a little bit hands on, especially in sales and all that kind of stuff. But if you can have triggers go off that help you get your time back, I'm always in favor of that. I'll pay somebody to help me set that up. That's just
Oh yeah.
me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's I like that. I know we're gonna get into certain topics, right? But I believe in still like I just did callbacks last week with a client, and I was kind of showing that on my Insta stories. Like, and I'm not saying automations isn't good.
Sure.
But solely only believing in your automation only, I'm also not 100% with just let it run only, right? Because I feel like certain people can get a little lazy, and there's still an aspect of connection, right? So I'm still old school when it comes to callbacks. Look at the automations as what I would say a support system for you. And like you said, optimization. So like that nurturing is happening, but still do your process within the automations. I think you guys will close a lot more deals, and it will just still give that aspect of like, I didn't forget about you. I'm still touching you a little bit. And then when you finally go for that close or that call for a follow-up on production, for instance, they have this journey that they had. And I think that's important because, dude, we closed 2 deals on callbacks, and he's like, dude, I haven't done that in a long time. I'm like, you're just letting automations do its thing, you know?
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
There's a fine line, right? It's the best business owners that are the most aggressive in growing their business. They have outlined scripts. They know how to read their room on certain things. Hey, they know how to set the proper expectations with the client. So they know, hey, we're coming back for the callback. We're going to follow up on you. We're not just going to let you ignore all our automations, right?
100%.
So you have to be on top of that. And I think of it like if you had a sales rep, what would you want them to do? Would you let them just rely on the automation, or would you have them go out, go after it? It might not be perfect. They might not say the best thing ever, but at least they're putting their personality into it and reading the room on the situation. So that's super important.
Facts.
Yeah. And then as far as like, the new tech and stuff, I think that the younger guys have a little bit of an advantage, especially the guys that can get into, setting all this stuff up from the beginning, and they come out the gate swinging. So I have a topic I want to discuss, and I want your take. And I would say, we're not that far apart age-wise, but, there's different generations there. Would you say that the 20-year-olds today, the entrepreneurs, are better entrepreneurs than the 40-year-olds now? Mentality-wise, how they've been raised, what they've went through so far, how they see the world. I mean, there's a lot of different things politically happening that are shaping mentals. What's your take on that?
I would say, I don't know if I would say better. I would say faster, because I think it's kind of relative in terms of like who's better. I think that's more of a skill thing. But who's faster for sure. I would say a 20-year-old would outbeat a 40-year-old who's about to start a business. Because like I'm seeing these younger cats, like, and I say younger cats because I'm 40, right? And it's like motivating, especially our clients. We have younger clients. I mean, I got an 18-year-old client right now. And it's like, holy crap. Like if I was 18 and had access to these things, what? Like, and I think they're just moving a lot quicker because they understand it better. They also live in the world of like, if you're not with the tech, you're going to be lost. And I feel like the entrepreneurs now that are younger, they're just moving at a quicker pace, and they understand the level of the importance of automations and chat GPT and processes and SOPs. Like when I first opened my first business, I was 28. When I first opened my first business, I was 28 years old. That's, gosh, a long time ago, dude. And I wasn't talking SOPs. No one taught me SOPs. Like I understood it, but it wasn't so heavy like it is now. And when I talk to this younger generation, everyone's like, well, dude, I'm not going to do that without an SOP. And I'm just like, that never used to cross my mind back then. And it's super cool to see the transition of processes and how things are being done, the standards, and understanding the levels that they need to be in. So I really, truly believe there is a high advantage for the youth now. And I'm super excited to see what it has to do with our journeys, because they're really changing the industry, the blue collar space. And I love watching it. Like super creative, the brand's on point, the social media they're using. I mean, gosh, dude, like I never think it's too late for anyone to be an entrepreneur, but I am seeing the younger generation, they're just hopping on it faster. So that's what I would say. So what are your thoughts? Because you're like that in between for me. Is when I look at you, I'm like, dude, Aiden gets a taste of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
It's funny because I'm like, I think I just missed the the generation that like hates college and hates 9 to 5s, because
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if the right word is affinity, but I have my degree. I went in and I worked for large corporations. And I thought that was very valuable for like me to mature and
Yeah.
have all of those kind of system and process, thoughts. So I don't know. I think it helped me a lot. And I just know the 40-year-old guy, he has a level of professionalism that a younger guy might not be able to match, right? He can communicate in a way that's very organized. He's not going to, answer your call on a Sunday evening, right? They have other things that are a little bit more pre planned and they're strong on their values, right?
100%.
But I would also say they're a little bit more reluctant when it comes to on the fly decisions, right?
Yeah.
So let's just
Yeah.
say I hop on a sales call with a guy who's looking to grow his painting business. He's 40. I'm going to have a harder time selling him than a 20-year-old that is like, I'm ready to go after it. Let's get it. I know what I have to do. I know the math already. Like, I've done it. Let's do it, Aiden. This older guy is going to be kind of stuck in his ways a little bit. Hey, I have a plan. I'm in it for 10 years. I want to make sure I'm making the right connection and stuff. So I would say you're right in the fact that the older guys are slower movers, and the younger guys are a little bit more reckless. But you also have to think that they're influenced by different things, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
one guy has seen his dad, or maybe, I don't know if it's dad, maybe even him, have a 401k, have a stable job. The other guy is like, F college, masculinity. Like, I want to go out and knock doors every single day because that's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
know it takes. They are so willing to put in the work and take chances. And I love it. And I don't really know where I'm going here. I just wanted to describe the two things that I see, right?
Yeah.
But I would say better. I would still probably lean towards the 40-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
but I would say that there is a small group of these 20-year-olds that are savages. Very small group.
Yeah, man. And when they start to acquire the skill set, they're going to be unstoppable. And that's the thing a lot of guys don't see. And hopefully, I don't even know our demographic, whoever, like the age group of our demographic. But the cool part is it's never too late, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the same access as these younger guys do. You just got to make a decision and run with it, right? And I'm in the weird side of it because I'm 40, right? But how I was raised, I saw the internet as an opportunity where most 40-year-olds my age didn't. They were still out doing whatever they were doing. I actually did the reverse side. I didn't want to age myself some more. It's when AOL came out. I was like, this is genius, right? Like AIM. And I'm like doing the chats. And, like in school, they didn't really teach us how to use keyboards yet that really well, or a computer or dial up. Like it took forever to get on a computer. I was
Yeah.
very intrigued by that. And I remember a lot of my friends didn't care for that. So I actually was the opposite in my generation. When I saw the internet coming, I was like, dude, I need to learn this. I need to like learn how to like I still see guys my age type with 2 fingers.
Yes.
You
You
know what I
got
mean?
on the wave early.
Dude, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like when school was like, yo, let's compete and see how fast you can type. I was like, bet.
This
I
is
learned the
my.
whole home system.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me in this
Mm-hmm.
transition where a lot of 40-year-olds and guys that are my age aren't that good with computers. They didn't really hone in on it and they didn't want to buy into it. They probably got to it eventually, right? So there's still that rare 40-year-old in my age group that hopped on it, but not many, right? So I don't really even sometimes I forget I'm 40. Like I actually put myself in the group of the young 20s because I'm a hustler bustler all day. Doesn't matter.
100%.
Sorry,
um,
guys.
I would say too, like to stick by my answer of like the 40-year-olds are a little bit better, because they are able to slow down, right?
Mm,
Like, hey, I'm going to commit to this. Like I got on a call with somebody the other day and he said, I'm in this for 10 years. Like he was ready to commit a
yeah.
portion of his life to making his painting business successful. Whereas the younger guys, I mean, if they see a TikTok video of get rich quick scheme, another
Yeah.
play to set up a online Shopify store or do something quick, they're going to like inquire about it. Whereas the older
100%.
guy, he might be like, look, I already have my, you know, schedule full. I'm not looking to pivot. Doesn't make much sense. So the younger guys are definitely a little bit more reckless. That was me a big portion of my life. Like I would move job to job. I would do different businesses to see what would work. Because my mindset is like, I just need one to work, you know? But the
Same.
reality is you got to put in the work in order to see the success. So it's like that meme, or not meme, but like that image of the guy digging the hole. He's digging, and he just has one more thing to dig before he hits the diamonds, but then he stops and turns.
Yeah, he was like 3 feet away or something like that. It
I
was
see that a
crazy.
lot for myself as well. I think we're breaking up.
Wow. So the biggest thing is when you said as they're digging, I always think about that framework. You know how it says the grass isn't always greener on the other side, the grass is greener where you water it. And I did the same thing. I mean, I tried so many different businesses and I was like, we'll just see what sticks and I'll just run with it. But once I planted myself, that's what worked the best. And that's when I knew, okay, this is it.
I
So
agree.
I love what you're saying about that. Absolutely.
But it's okay to try different things though, right?
Facts.
100% okay to try different things, but you have to come at it with like a more of a plan, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
obviously that's something that we help people with, right?
Yeah.
So cool. Another topic I wanted to go over, a little bit more of a fun one. The Mount Rushmore of dumbass business ideas that every trade entrepreneur goes through, right?
Yeah.
Very, very, you know, very few guys open this business and don't make major mistakes in the beginning, right?
Mm.
Like for me, I started on the tools. I hired all my friends. Like I would put
Yeah.
that like one or two. That's definitely up there. You know, like hiring
Yeah.
friends and family, dude. I remember I had my mom because she was like a cleaner, pseudo cleaner. She would come in and we would do unit turns, super cheap. There's no money in it, but like I'm trying to get things started. And I was
Mm.
like, hey, mom, like I have an opportunity for you. You can make money. I can make money. We all win. And I just felt like, didn't feel right doing that, you know? So, yeah, that's one for me.
I would say for me was becoming too buddy with my painters. So I didn't have
Mm,
buddies because I didn't know anyone out here when I moved here. But for me was becoming too buddy. There's a book that I always recommend. It talks about being a boss or a buddy. Because like I got on the tools. Mine was a little different, right? Like I came in as a production manager and taking over essentially. So for me, it was a little bit of a different situation. And when I took over, then I got into painting. So I did the opposite of things, right? Like I came in as management owner and then I started painting after, I would say like the first few months, then I switched to started to paint. I got too close with the guys like buddies and like, hey brother, that kind of conversation. And there was like what I would say, I don't want to say it was a loss of respect, but almost like a loss of like what I do. And what I mean by that is the biggest mistake for me was I let them in too much on the day to day of like what really was going on in the business.
right.
And that really bit me in the butt because now they're giving their opinions on something that really at that time wasn't a decision
Boom.
they should make, you know?
I kind of want to write this down, right, just so we can keep track. So hiring friends and family, being too buddy, like that's a huge one. I agree because that comes along with what I said, right? It's like these guys, they feel like they can just have a take
Yeah.
on the business, right? And half of it's my fault. I'm letting it happen. But then they see certain, decisions make that affect them, and they're kind of like, oh, I don't know about this, Aid, and they already feel like they could push back on it, which is not good, you know.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So,
Um, I would say another one. So I'm trying to think of like dumb stuff, man. Like things that like I know that I see all the time that like you just can't do. Um,
what would that be?
I want to
Okay.
say, okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've seen leaders. This wasn't me personally, but I have seen leaders. Actually, I know it sounds weird, but I've seen painter leaders smoking cigarettes with their painters at a property site, and I was like, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you having a cigarette break with your boys? Like, and especially
Mm-hmm.
on the property, what does that say about you?"
Yeah.
And if you guys are smokers, not that I'm saying anything about bad about smoking, but it's
Well,
like
even dude,
think about
even
the
their
professionalism.
team,
Yeah,
right? Even guys that like hire subs or have a supervisor that's been smoking forever and they just put up with it and they're just kind of like, hey, whatever, he's flicking it on their front porch
yeah, man. And they just let it happen, dude. I'm
and they're
just like,
just
no
like,
way.
hey, that's John. Yeah, John,
Yeah,
nothing we
yeah.
can do, sorry about that. Nah,
He's
that's
a
not
great
good. It's
painter, though.
Yeah, right.
I've heard that all the time, dude. He's a
I
great
got one.
painter, though. Good.
I got one. Picking up guys.
Oh,
Dumbest shit that you can do. And I'm
bro, I did
guilty,
that for a
man.
while too when I started. I did that too.
Dude, I
It crushed me.
remember I hired my brother, right? And my brother, all he could do was roll walls. That was his job. He'd go
Yeah.
in, and if the floors were prepped already, he would go in and just have at it. But he could never wake up. But he was so cheap, right? It was like he was very inexperienced, and I'd be
Yeah.
on some pretty nice jobs. So I'm like, dude, that's your skill. It's the only thing you can do. I think his hand was messed up, so he couldn't really cut in. So
Yeah.
literally, I would go in and I would show up to, I knew I had to do this every day. I would show up to the house. It was my mom's house, so I can get in. I would open the door, get in. Man would be sleeping. I would have to pull him out of bed and be like, let's go, dude. I cannot afford to not have you today.
Oh, dude, you're bringing me back to memory lane, man.
I
I had a
swear.
guy named Joe. God bless you, man, if you're listening to this. But Joe was the same way. He's like, I don't have a truck, boss. Like,
Ah,
how do you want me to get to work? And I'm in panic mode. Like, I need guys, and like, I can trust this guy, but he doesn't have a vehicle. And it's like, my day would be derailed by driving him to the job site, then having to come back and pick him up and be waiting outside for him or whatever. It's like, guys, like, first of all, that should be part of the interview process, right? Like, you have to have a good form of
yeah.
transportation. And, but I get it when you're desperate and you're making decisions out of desperation, you're not seeing past that, right? And how much it's derailing the most priorities of your priorities, right? Um, so I agree with you, man. That's a good one. Man,
That's a good one. So many
I'm
guys are
going
like
back.
kicking themselves right now. 100%. I got another one. I'm like indicting myself this episode. This is bad, bro. I actually have
Aiden's
another one.
triggering me right now.
So you got to think this all goes back to like standards, right?
Yeah.
Cigarette, picking up, the business kind of acumen you should have to represent yourself around different people. I had lower standards back in the day. I was a younger cat. I was just trying to get stuff done. And here's another one. All right. I went to Home Depot and just picked up a couple guys to finish the job.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
Okay.
there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Well,
100% happened.
let me tell you, I'll tell you a quick story. Ready for this?
Okay. I got another
So,
one. Go ahead.
yeah, I don't think I've shared this with anyone really online or even coaching, but when I opened up Phoenix, we hired 3 different subs that kept no showing to the first job that we're gonna have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, listen, man, like I'll fly out there. Let's just take a look, see what happens. So I show up. This guy's like, yeah, boss, I'll be there. Don't worry. I'm in like my dress clothes because I'm teaching my guy how to do estimates and stuff. First project, I've had to reschedule it like 3 times because of no call, no shows. The guy doesn't show up. And I'm at the job site. I have no ladders. I have nothing. And I'm in dress clothes. I'm in like my Cole Haan shoes and whatnot. And my boy Joey goes, well, what are we going to do? I was like, looks like we're going to Home Depot. So, but here's the thing. I didn't hire anyone. I went to Home Depot to buy a ladder. I painted the fascia and the trim myself because I felt so bad for the customer. I'm like, we rescheduled them 3 times. I
Yeah.
don't know what to do. So as I was going there, I end up painting this job in a full day in my Cole Haans. I get a Dunn Edwards shirt, which is like Sherwin-Williams, just to have a painter shirt on. And the lady's just like, you're going to do my job. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Like, this is the first job. What would that make us look like?
Yeah,
Right.
it's bad.
So I get on a ladder. I paint the whole trim. I finish it out in a day by myself. But the next day we went to Home Depot. And here's the funny part. I got a guy, right? And he still works for us. Well, not for me, but a referral now. He works for
That's fire.
Mr. Jerry. If you know Jerry from Bar Painting, shout out. But yeah, taught him from ground up and found him at Home Depot. And he's the best
That
painter
is
ever, dude. Like, he's
so
super
funny.
awesome.
Oh man,
The
I'm
things we
telling
do.
you, like, yeah, I know it's like a running joke in the construction. Oh, you just grabbed a couple Home Depot guys. The
Yeah.
funny thing is, we've done it.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey,
man,
man. Whatever it
yeah.
takes.
Myself, man, we had a job. We landed residential. It was a rental property, right? So it wasn't like it was occupied or anything. But man, my guys called out, and I had gotten to the point where I was like checked out of jobs. Like, I'm not doing them anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, I got to figure this out. So me and one of my guys, he was like, dude, trust me, this will work. We went out there, and I just pulled up to guys that were hanging it in the parking lot. And I just said, trabajo, right? I'm just like, I don't know how to do this, but guys, I need workers. And they flooded me. But the
Yeah.
thing was, they were bartering with me. Like, you guys are the one asking for work. So
Yeah.
I pulled up and I'm like, hey, I'm willing to give you guys X amount. And they're like, no, sorry. And I'm like, what? So they were walking away. So I'm like upping it. And finally, I got two guys that were like, all right, let's do it. But like, I felt like, damn, they're like bartering, like, you know what I mean? Like haggling me. And I'm trying
Yeah.
to give them work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if
Isn't
you
that
don't work for me today, you guys are getting nothing. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting, huh? Huh. I
Maybe
don't
it's like
doubt
a
that one
pride
bit.
thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they were probably trying to figure out what they were going to make for the day
Yeah.
to bring back home. So, but dude, that's interesting. I would just be like, dude, I need work. Give me work, whatever it
Yeah,
takes.
I just remember being so like sketched out. Like I've never done this before. It's always been like a running joke in construction. Like I knew about the joke, and I'm kind of like, this is me really doing this right now. But like, dude, you
Yeah.
get in a bind, especially early on when you're like trying to get things right, and you
Yeah.
make these decisions, and you look back and it was bad, man.
Yeah. I mean, I would never do it again, but it's a nice lesson, right? Like
Yeah,
to kind of look back at it and be like, wow, dude, like look how far we've come and what we have to do. But yeah, don't feel bad, guys.
yeah. All right, we got one more. All right, so we got being too buddy, hiring friends and family, picking up guys. What's another one? Dumbass decisions that we made while trying to grow our trade construction business.
Man, I'm trying to go back because I have so many stories.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one that's like not super specific to me, you know, right?
Yeah.
Like something that maybe other people are dealing with that I was like, I don't know. Maybe I know from working with guys, things they do. We could go to easy ones like not having a plan or anything, but I kind of want to get like into the nitty gritty,
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Well, I guess I could give you a quick story. I mean, I back then wouldn't vet subs, right? I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't vet subs. I just have subs come to the job sites. And one
That's a good
time,
one. That's a good one.
yeah, dude, I'm not kidding. And, this is serious. Like,
Well, I got another one.
I got
Oh,
a
we're on a
call.
roll today. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're going to open this up. I got a call from a customer saying that a guy took a dump in the backyard. And I was like, this is before COVID. So there's no COVID excuse that you couldn't use it in the house. They got him on the camera. And I just felt like I learned my lesson there. I was like, I didn't vet these guys properly.
Was it like a Home Depot bucket poop
No,
or
they
was
like in
it?
their backyard just openly just squatted and took a dump. And I was like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Like, that's the call I got. Right. And,
Yeah.
when you don't vet people, you don't know what their character's like and what's going on. And at that time, again, desperation makes you do silly things. You don't think properly. You're like, all right, you know how to paint? Great. Awesome. Like you got a ladder and a brush? Sweet. And that's just kind of like what my mentality was then. I was so stressed out that I didn't think about those kind of consequences. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think once you start going through those things, you go, okay, I should probably put a process together for
Yeah.
this and not do that again. Right. So I learned my lessons, man, the hard way for sure.
No, thank you for bringing that up actually, because not vetting subs, I would actually put up there because
100%.
when I first started working for Certa Pros as a sub, we were looking for more work. We're trying to grow the
Oh, okay.
business. So I got in as a subcontractor and then I worked my way up eventually. But I remember at first they gave me the work order. Here's your first job. That
Yeah.
was it. That
Yeah.
was it. There wasn't, oh, he's going to meet you there. There wasn't, hey, let's talk about like the things that they had one phone call with me, went there, met them, boom. That was it. There wasn't like, hey, we'll give you a small one. They gave me like a nice sized job, high end residential off the rip. So I went in and I was thinking like, I hope they don't do this for everybody. Cause I'm the rare guy that like actually will show up and do a good job.
Right.
I'll check
Right.
myself and all that. They were like, here you go. It's yours. And dude, I could have like messed that job up. Didn't happen, but like if that's you, make sure you
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, man.
Secondly, I got one where we did a job with the subs. It was one of the first subs I ever had in my business. And I remember we just got past the job. Like he like just got past by the skin of his teeth. So I gave him another one. And dude, there was beer bottles in the trash can once it was done. So they were trying to stuff it in and like get it to
Yeah.
the bottom. But the
Yeah.
guy, I guess he seen it or smelled it or whatnot. But the homeowner came and was like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know? Dude,
I've
that
had
was
those too.
mortifying.
Yeah, I've had those too, and that's where the cool part is when you build principles and then you start learning what those principles are and your standards. When you
Yeah.
set that tone with these guys, they understand, and it's like I never had anyone tell me to do that. Right? It was just one of those things that I was hiring guys thinking I could trust them,
Mm-hmm.
and they pulled that kind of stuff to me as well. So, dude, oh, yeah, I actually had a guy stay at a customer's home and take a shower. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?" Like, the lady's like,
Savage.
dude, yeah, the lady calls me and goes, Joel, obviously I don't live at the home yet. They just bought the house. Just so you know, your painter slept overnight, drank a couple beers out of my fridge, and took a shower. I'm like, what? Like,
No, that
that
that guy
doesn't even
sounds like a
cross
good
my
time
mind.
though. Nah, I'm
He,
kidding. I'm kidding.
he's a wild man. He's a wild man.
Yeah.
Let's just say he doesn't work for us anymore. But yeah, it's, it's like, guys, just so you know, like Aiden and I are just being very transparent. We've been there, we've done that.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I don't deal with those problems anymore. But in the beginning, it was very often. I was like, who would want to own a painting company? Like that literally is where my brain went. I was like, I don't know if this is worth it, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah.
100%. And shout
So
out to the shower beer.
yeah,
Legendary
dude.
thing. Anyway, we'll wrap it up with one more
Yeah.
little segment. I wanted to know, and we're talking about painting businesses, going through it. So let's talk about some planned stuff, some things that we have to consider when we say, hey, we're set out to build $1 million business. We have a 10% marketing budget, roughly $8,000. Where are we putting this money in order to achieve that $1 million? You can break
And
it
I get
down into percentages to make it easy.
Yeah, and I get that eight. Do I get that 8,000 per month now?
Yeah, like
Okay,
you already know you got to spend it in order to hit 1 million. That's kind of like the benchmark, right?
right. I had someone on. I was a guest on someone's podcast that asked me this question. I said the first thing I would do is get a CRM. I know it sounds funny because like you might think because we're sponsored for DripJobs now, like I'm saying that, but I really truly believe that. It's like the first thing I would invest in is getting my CRM done, and then the rest of the money would go into we'll see what everybody says about this, but this is my play. This is every time I open a brand new painting company, I do Angie's List or Angie Ads. I put money in Angie Ads, Thumbtack, now Networks. I don't know if you guys have heard of Networks. I used to use Networks years ago. They were phenomenal, and then it went bad for a little while. I'm using them again in San Diego. They've been doing I don't know what they did, but they're doing so much better again. That's with an X, Networks with an X. So it's like a prepaid lead generator
Yeah.
that they just do. So that's Networks, Angie Ads, Thumbtack. I would do door to door and some sort of networking group.
Okay.
So I know you mentioned that you would use BNI or something like that. That's what I would do in the beginning to grow my business to
No
start.
Facebook?
Unless I can run it myself. Here's the thing. When I first start a business, I don't start with any kind of retainers just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I start with lead generation first like that so I can maximize every single dollar goes to ads. So I would say after 90 days, I would hire a Facebook marketing company because I don't do
Yeah.
Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So obviously I would do a recommended Facebook company, shout out FMM. And then the other thing would be is Google LSA and Google PPC and SEO. Definitely what a lot of people don't focus on is the SEO is super important, even though it's organic and it's a long-term play. Don't slip on that, man. It has hurt my businesses before when I didn't focus on the SEO and my rankings. It took a long time to start getting really good lead gen. So that would be my play after 90 days, hire people with retainers, then start putting your budgets in that as well.
Yeah, that's a lot, right? Which
Yeah.
is okay. We have $8,000 budget, so we can spread the wealth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in total agreement with you on the retainer. If your This is my opinion, right? If your retainer is higher than your ad spend, you shouldn't be doing it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like you need to have every single dollar try and get you profit, right? So unless you know they are going to 100% get me ball and results, I mean, it's going to be, yeah, you should wait on it, right? Um, Yeah, I'm in agreement on a lot of things. I'd probably pass on Thumbtack. I would probably favor something like Yelp.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Yelp's good
just
too.
like personal preference. I mean, these the cool thing is once you set up your profiles properly and have a reputable brand and a couple reviews, you can
Mm-hmm.
go on any platform and every 60 days assess, should we take some out, put it to something else? Should we take it out
100%.
completely? What does that look like, right? So yeah, I would agree on Angie ads. We've actually had decent success with that lately
Good.
this
Good.
year. It's starting to kind of pick up, which is good. I would go Angie ads just for the sheer bulk that you can get for the money you're going to spend. Um,
100%.
I would definitely go personally Facebook. I think that especially if you are decent with content, if you're not afraid to get in front of that camera and make videos, I mean, I think Facebook's going to be huge. I would go somewhat of a cheaper route than a retainer. Figure it out. I promise you, if you chat GPT or ask around, you will find a cheaper option. And this is initially, right? This is like, I got to make it happen
Start out.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Another thing, Google local service ads, have that running as long as possible because those are going to be your best leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
SEO and Google local service ads, these guys are looking for painter near me, and a lot of times they want a quality guy, right?
Facts.
They're reaching out to you personally, which is huge. You don't get a lot of leads that are ready to just go with you. We talked about Yelp, um, and then networking events for sure. I mean, you're looking at some type of BNI. You want to get acclimated into the local community, and a lot of those leads are technically word of mouth. So they should be slam dunk. Hey, here's my guy. Just did his roof. Here's my painter. Go in, paint the house. You have my recommendation. We just did a great job. Doesn't get better than that.
No,
So
absolutely.
if you're getting charged 2K for the year, what's that a month? It's worth every single penny. 100%.
100%.
And then what's it take? 1 hour a week, right? To be able to go and do a quick breakfast with these guys.
Yeah. That's not a lot to ask for.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
think about the big deals they may come in contact with, right? The custom
Mm-hmm.
houses. Go into a decent, area in order to get the best jobs. But like if you can get a home service focused BNI or networking group, I mean, that's a game changer.
Well, that's the hack. They call them power partners. So
Mm-hmm.
what I advise for anyone, if anyone's wanting to do BNI, is to look up chapters in your area. First of all, find out they don't have any painters. And then the second thing is look for other blue collar businesses. Those are your
Boom.
best power partners, electricians, plumbers, uh, whoever is home improvement, construction, GCs, anything home improvement. If that chapter has more of those guys, they're your best power partner. Same thing with like realtors, not so much on the loan officers and stuff like that, like mortgages.
Yeah, yeah.
They really can't refer that much, but realtors can because they're the ones showing the house, trying to sell it or whatever. So those are called power partners. That's what I would suggest for sure.
Yeah, and don't sleep on lawn signs and door hangers also, right? I
Yes,
mean, those
that's a
are
must.
such easy wins. I mean, if you do a house, hit the surrounding area as much as possible with hangers. Lawn signs, I know a guy, $2 million business, built his business on lawn signs.
See, anything's
It's
possible.
crazy, man.
Wow.
There's a lot of ways you can generate leads. I tell people all the time, if leads were the only thing you needed to grow your painting business, everybody would be a millionaire, right? You can Google that. But the reality is, you need to know how to maximize every dollar. You need to know how to sell. You need to know how to market properly as far as like what to put out there and how to look. And you need to know how to produce jobs and get reviews.
And do a
Name of the
great job.
game right there.
Yeah. Done on the Paint Your Path pod.
All right, guys. Well, hey, this was a fun one. We'd love to, get your feedback. So definitely comment, like, subscribe. Go give us a
Yes.
follow on all our platforms and reach out if you have a topic you want us to talk about or something you want us to dive deeper into. And if you want to be a guest, guys, we are ramping up guests, so there will not be a lot of spots. So if you're trying to get in, reach out now because we're booking up for the rest of the year. We're taking this thing to a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah.
So just want to end it on a quote. What do you got for me, brother?
Ooh, let's do a quote. It's been a while, huh? We've been just ripping.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I don't think I have one today, but I will leave a framework for everybody to think about. if you're in a position that you've been questioning, why am I doing this business? Dig deep on this, right? You heard what Aiden and I said today. We mentioned a lot about the things we did, the decisions we made out of desperation and not knowing certain things. Just remember why you first started, right? And you have literally all the access in the world, from podcasts to YouTube to ChatGPT to our communities and whatever else. Just reach out, guys. Like, reach out if you feel like you're struggling right now. We'd love to help you out. And this isn't to try to sell you on anything. I know Aiden and I would love to even do a discovery call to help you guys out in any way we can. If you feel like you're struggling, this is why we do what we do. We want to give you content. We want to help you guys. So just let us know. I'll leave you with that. You can do it. You got
I got
this.
one thing as well. So one thing I've been trying to do is do a Bible verse a day. I actually bought a book. It's just one a day, just a small read, one page. But I got a verse. So I just pulled this up. James 5:13. Is anyone among you in trouble? Let them pray. Is anyone happy? Let them sing songs of praise.
Ooh.
That's what I got today.
Leave it on that. We'll leave it on that.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you on the next one.
Yes, sir.